Daniel and Claire had been planning the weekend for months. Life in the city had become unbearable. Noise, deadlines, endless traffic. Even nights weren't quiet anymore. So when Claire found a listing online for a remote countryside farmhouse, it felt perfect. The photo showed a peaceful place surrounded by wide fields and tall trees. No neighbors, no roads nearby. Just silence. Exactly what they needed. The description said, "A peaceful farmhouse retreat, perfect for couples looking for privacy and quiet." Daniel booked it immediately. The owner sent simple instructions. The key would be in a lockbox near the door. No caretaker, no staff. The house had been empty for months. The drive took almost 4 hours. As they left the city behind, the roads grew narrower. Streetlights disappeared. Soon they were driving through long stretches of farmland under a darkening sky. Claire looked at the map on her phone. "We're almost there," she said. Daniel slowed the car as a small dirt road appeared. It led through tall grass and trees. At the end of the path stood the farmhouse, old but beautiful. A large wooden house sitting alone in the middle of a wide field. The sun was almost gone, leaving the sky painted in dark orange and purple. For a moment the place looked peaceful, too peaceful. When they walked toward the porch, Claire noticed something. "The door," she said quietly. Daniel looked up. The front door was slightly open, just a few inches, moving slowly with the wind. "That's weird," Claire whispered. Daniel checked the lockbox. The key was still inside. "Maybe the cleaner left it open," he said, trying not to sound uneasy. He pushed the door open. The house smelled like old wood and dust, but everything looked neat. The furniture was arranged perfectly. The floor was spotless. And on the dining table there were 2 cups of tea, steam rising slowly from them. Claire frowned. "Did you see anyone leave?" Daniel shook his head. He touched one of the cups. It was warm, very warm. Someone had made it just minutes ago. They searched the house, living room, kitchen, 2 bedrooms upstairs, bathroom, closets, every corner. But the farmhouse was completely empty. No bags, no signs of anyone staying there. Daniel pulled out his phone and checked the message from the owner again. "The house has been empty for months." Claire stared at the cups. "So who made those?" Daniel didn't answer. Finally, he picked up the cups and poured the tea into the sink. "Probably someone passing through," he said, but even he didn't believe it. Night came quickly in the countryside. Outside the windows, darkness covered the fields. The silence was overwhelming. No cars, no distant city sounds, just the wind moving through tall grass. Claire sat on the couch while Daniel tried to get a signal on his phone. Nothing. "No reception," he said. Claire forced a smile. Maybe that's a good thing. They decided to relax. They cooked a simple dinner and watched a downloaded movie. For a while, everything felt normal, almost peaceful. Until around 11:30 p.m., Claire heard something. She muted the TV. "Did you hear that?" Daniel looked up. "Hear what?" Claire listened carefully. There it was again, a sound outside, soft, slow, footsteps, crunching on dry leaves, walking toward the house. Daniel stood up and walked to the window. The porch light illuminated the ground outside, but he didn't see anyone. "Probably an animal," he said. Claire pointed toward the porch. "Look." Daniel leaned closer to the glass in the mud near the steps. There were footprints, barefoot, deep, fresh. They started near the edge of the yard and led directly to the front door. Then they stopped, as if someone had been standing there, watching the house. Suddenly, knock. A slow knock echoed through the house. Claire jumped. Daniel froze. They stared at the door. Silence. Then another knock. Slower this time. Claire whispered, "Don't open it." Daniel's heart pounded, but curiosity slowly pulled him toward the door. He grabbed the handle and opened it. The cold night air rushed in. The porch was empty. The field stretched endlessly into darkness. No person, no animals, nothing. Daniel stepped outside and looked around. The footprints were still there, but they ended at the door. There were no footprints leaving. "Daniel," Claire said quietly from inside him, "come here." Something in her voice made him turn immediately. Her face had gone pale. She pointed at the floor. Daniel looked down. At first he didn't understand, then he saw it. On the wooden floor near the door, a wet footprint appeared right in front of them. No one was standing there, but another footprint appeared, then another slow, heavy, walking deeper into the house. Step, 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 like someone invisible had just walked in. Claire grabbed Daniel's arm. "Do you see that?" The footprints moved toward the kitchen, then stopped near the dining table. The chair slowly slid backward, dragging across the floor. That was enough. "We're leaving," Daniel said. They grabbed their bags and rushed outside. The night air felt colder now, almost suffocating. They ran to the car. Daniel unlocked the door and opened it. Then he froze. Something was sitting on the driver's seat. A photo frame. Neither of them had seen it before. Daniel picked it up slowly. Inside the frame was an old photograph. It showed the farmhouse many years ago. Standing in front of the house was a smiling family. A man, a woman, 2 children. But Claire noticed something strange. Behind the family, inside the dark doorway, stood 2 figures, barely visible, shadowy, watching the camera. Claire leaned closer. Her breath caught in her throat. Daniel. The 2 shadow figures looked exactly like them. At that moment, the farmhouse door behind them creaked open. Slowly, they turned. The dark doorway seemed deeper now, like an empty mouth waiting. Then a whisper floated from inside the house, soft, cold, right behind them. "You finally came back." Claire dropped the photo. Daniel jumped into the driver's seat and started the car. The engine roared to life. They drove away down the dirt road without looking back. Neither of them spoke for the entire drive. The next morning, Daniel checked the booking website. The farmhouse listing was gone, completely erased. No photos, no address, no record of it existing. But weeks later, Daniel found something online, an old newspaper article. Decades ago, a family had lived in that farmhouse. One night, all 4 of them disappeared. No bodies were ever found. The house remained empty after that, until people started renting it for weekends. And according to local stories, anyone who stayed there overnight was eventually replaced by someone else, someone new. And if you ever find the farmhouse online and decide to spend a quiet weekend there, just remember one thing. When you arrive, the house might already be waiting for you, because you're not the first guest, and you won't be the last.